What's up, guys? My name is Sebastian Stratman. I hope you guys are having a great day and will continue having one. This is my 2004 Toyota 4Runner, and today I am just give you guys some advice on how I would build it with a set amount of money and go from there. So I'm going to start from the top on what I would do and some of the things that I have already done on my 4Runner to start a reliable build with a lot of potential off-road. Anymore. So this here I got a rear. That was no different. So I'm gonna pretend like you've already done your maintenance and your car isn't incredibly rusty and you don't have to maintain some of the suspension components that have gotten a lot of rust. This is gonna be based upon a mostly clean 4Runner, one that has been well taken care of, and you're not having to worry about broken bushings and things like that. So to very start, we're gonna be looking at your lift kit. There's a lot of different lift kits that are pucks. This one is not. I do recommend the Rough Country 3-inch N1 struts. There's also M1 struts. They are both really solid lift kits. Honestly, I did have some doubts about it, but I've been driving on it for about 5,000 miles and it's been awesome. It's been super good to me. It is from Rough Country, which they make jokes that it is rough, but I'm not going for a comfortable ride in this kind of car. I'm going to off-road. So for a daily, maybe you want something softer, but if this is your daily and off-roader and you don't mind a bit of a bumpier ride, I would go with the N1 struts, especially since you can replace them for about 150 bucks a piece, which is super easy, especially if, say, you're making an apocalypse car. You can buy 2 sets, even 3 sets, for the price of one of the name brand super high quality sets. When you lift a 4Runner, really more than 2 inches, you should be doing the control arm so you can move this tire a little bit forward and not have to rub on all this. So I did that. I actually went with an eBay control arm I found that was billet and used polyurethane bushings. The brand name is Auto Running. However, Send It Suspension and Freedom Off-Road have the identical control arm for double or even triple the price. So a lot of the times that you find, especially with car parts, is there's a lot of China replicas, India replicas, stuff like that. And most of it is just rebranded and resold with their name on it. And I believe that is 100% the case. I'll show the 3 competitors to this, or the 2 competitors to this, and you can kind of make your own decision. They're exactly identical, and as long as you're getting the material right, I don't see a problem in it. Again, 5,000 miles, no problems. I absolutely love these control arms and love the way they look. Next up, we got wheels and tires. These are actually the Rough Country steel wheels, which not a lot of people know that Rough Country even make wheels, but I got all 4 of these for about 250 bucks. They are 17 by 10 plus 12, which is a perfect size for the tire I wanted to run, and the stance that I liked. I also really liked these steel wheels looked, and these look awesome in my opinion. They, like others, may want a more alloy style wheel or want more of a design, but this is perfect for me. 250 bucks, you can't really beat that. Along with that, we did the tires. I went with 285 75 17s in my Goodyear Wranglers here. These equate to about a 38.8 inch tire with brand new tread. So you're just about a 34. You can call it a 34 if you like. If you do some BF Goodriches that have a little bit more aggressive tread, these would be 34 inch tires. However, you do need to do a lot of trimming to run this size of a tire, even with your upper control arm. So I did have to trim my fender. However, you don't have to trim this much. This was because this 4Runner is very rusty, and when I took off the molding that looks like this, it revealed a lot of rust that is rusted through my fender. So I just went ahead and made a cut and cut all the way through, and I actually like the way it looks. It's grown on me. It looks different than any other 4Runner. Other people may disagree, but I actually like it. And I was going to replace the fenders, but it's grown on me so much I probably won't. You do need to do some trimming, including the body mount right here. I need to trim mine up just a little bit more, as well as you need to fold in these pinch welds. I folded in mine a little bit. I need to fold it in a little bit more. A little bit of rubbing doesn't hurt anybody. I do want to make it perfect, so if you do want to make yours perfect, you will have to fold in that pinch weld. A lot of people do run the 1.25 inch or 1.5 inch spacers, which I did. I run the Bora spacers. I don't anymore. I ended up selling them because I didn't really like what they did to the geometry of the suspension and just the excessive wear that it's going to put on my wheel bearings and things like that. So I ended up removing them and just trimming a little bit more of my body mount so I can just run it as a standard. I want the chance of possibly breaking a stud or anything like that. You can chance it and run some spacers, but I'm fine with the way that it looks here. They're mainly for looks. They don't do much else. Along with the control arms, you might as well do the rear arms, and that is going to be these ones right up there. I'll try and circle around it, as well as the traction bar that you can see right in front of you, essentially. I do also have the traction bar mount, but you can get these traction bars for about 250 bucks, as well as the traction bar mount about the same, 250 bucks. When you do a 3-inch lift, you will want to readjust your traction bar height, or when you hit bumps, your rear axle is essentially going to poke out. Either way, you can do your own research and figure out more. I do suggest doing that. It has made my ride a lot better, as well as installing upgraded bump stops. These are about 30 bucks on Amazon. I also got the Lexus versions in the back right here. These are off a Lexus GX46. Together, they ran me about 120 bucks. The Lexus ones were a little bit more expensive, but I have improved the ride quality. I'll give the brand names and everything in the below right here. Honestly, you can spend $500 to $1,000 just on bump stops. You can spend more on bump stops than I did on my lift kit. It's sure, if you're gonna go rock crawling, you might want it, you might need it. I don't know if you'd even say it's a need. However, it might be more comfortable. But for what I do with this, mudding, jumping it every once in a while, going through the snow, going on dirt paths and stuff like that, I've never ran into a point where I need a bigger lift or more spring in my bump stops. Again, this is all to do with lifting it 2 to 3 inches. You will need to do extended brake lines as well. Extended brake lines is recommended because that's not one thing you really want to pull on and remove or break. So you can get Stop Tech. There's a lot of different brands out there. I did go with Stop Tech. I think it was about 150 bucks for front and rear. And I can't say that it's improved anything, but I can say that I don't have to worry about my brake line snapping. A lot of people do recommend a diff drop when you do go up this high, just because of the angle of your axles are going to be at a completely, well, a not designed angle of what they're for. I have not done the diff drop. I haven't really needed to. I haven't found a reason to. I know the axles are going to be affected, but with dropping my diff, it just sounds like I'm going to run into more issues. But if you do want to drop your diff, it usually is going to run you about 50 bucks to 100 bucks. SRQ and Extreme Terrains has a few options, as well as just Amazon. The Tacoma lift spacers are going to do the same thing. All it is a spacer and an extended bolt, so you could probably do it without even buying a kit. Just go to Home Depot and get it done. These 4Runners do suffer from snapping sway bar links. I see it on the forum all the time. I have upgraded my sway bar links wherever they are. There they are. They're right there. They are extended from Toyota. That was a surprising find, but they do sell the extended sway bar links. I believe they're off of the 5th gen 4Runner. On the rear, I did have to go with the Dobinsons. There's not a lot of options when it comes down to your rear sway bar links. But these things snap and they tend to, I guess, rub into your axle and split your axle boot, which again will destroy your axle, and you'll be going through axles even more than you already are. So I do recommend upgrading those links to something extended, especially if you're going to go as high as a 3-inch lift. There is so much that you can do to these 4Runners, and you can do it cheap, you can do it medium, you can do it super expensive. To be honest, I feel like I went right in the middle and got it done perfectly. It's dialed into exactly where I want it. It took about 8 months to do so, just getting all the parts in, figuring out exactly what was going to break and things like that. Again, I didn't even add in repairs, but to do the entire lift kit, to duplicate my 4Runner essentially, without the accessories that I have, you'd be looking at about $3 grand. You can do it all the way up to about 10, especially with the suspension, bump stops, and things like that. But you can effectively do it with $3 grand and have a really nice, capable off-road 4Runner. I do not regret anything I did. I absolutely love this thing. It's given me a lot of fun already. I've been able to go to a couple different parks that I wouldn't have been able to, national parks, in a regular car, and just have a good time. Me and my buddy go to a certain off-road spot and literally jump this thing consistently, like every third weekend, and it's a blast. We have videos of that if you want to see it. This has been one of the coolest builds that I've made and one of the fastest ones. I was able to get almost everything that I want done within a year, and I'm slowing down from there. But I want to let you guys know what I would do if I were you and just starting to get into the 4Runner. This is what you should do when you lift your vehicle 3 or more inches. This isn't a necessity, but I feel like if you're gonna own a V8 4Runner, you might as well do a CATBACK exhaust, which I did hear from Rev9. It was $500 on eBay. I probably shouldn't have bought that first. That was one of the first things that I bought because I wanted to hear that V8. There was a lot more things I needed done, but I don't regret it because it sounds awesome. I absolutely love it. I'll do some rev clips for you at the end just so you guys can hear it. It's cold as hell, so hopefully the video wasn't too shaky and my voice wasn't too shaky. But this is my 2004 4Runner. I hope you guys will have a great day and continue having one. Peace. I do also have an exhaust leak from my headers. My V8 guys are definitely gonna know that that's a common problem. I don't plan on fixing it. There is a whole lot I have to do to fix it. I'll fix it eventually, but it's not the first one on my list for sure. Everything else is done. The 4Runner is in great shape now, other than the headers. But I hope you guys liked the little sound clip. Anyway, I hope you guys have a great day and continue having one.